That was all shot on a pocket camera that fits in your hand. This is the Insta360 Luna Ultra. I've been using it as my actual camera for the past few weeks to see what it's actually like to use day to day. And there are a few things that this camera can do that I haven't seen on anything in this size before, at least on paper. But specs on a page aren't going to tell you whether something's actually worth it. So that's exactly what I'm testing here. I'm going to walk through each of these unique features and find out whether they actually hold up to the hype or not. I've got 5 of them that I am genuinely impressed with after using, and 2 honest things that I think you should know before you buy this camera. But quick note up front, Insta360 gifted me this camera, but they did not pay me to make this video, so what you're about to hear is my actual opinion. I'll tell you if something bugs me. So for anyone who hasn't seen this before, the Luna Ultra is Insta360's first pocket gimbal camera, and it's going head-to-head with the DJI Pocket 3, the newer Pocket 4, and the soon-to-be-released Pocket 4 Pro. It starts at $769 here in the US. Now the gimbal means that it has built-in mechanical stabilization built right into the body, so your footage stays smooth even when you're moving around. What makes the Luna Ultra stand out the most is the detachable touchscreen, which is a touchscreen that's mounted right here in the camera body, but you can pop it off completely and use it as its own standalone remote control, also with a built-in microphone in that detached piece. I haven't seen that exact combination on anything else in this category. Now I'll get into how that actually works and if it does actually work in a minute. The other big differentiator on the Luna Ultra is the dual lens zoom system. But it is pretty well known at this point that the upcoming DJI Pocket 4 Pro is also bringing its own zoom lens. So this particular gap probably won't last as long as the screen gap will. But for right now though, neither the DJI Pocket 3 nor the standard Pocket 4 has the second telephoto lens. The Luna Ultra does, and it's available to buy right now in the US directly from Insta360 with full warranty support. Now I'll show you some real footage in just a second so you can judge the detail for yourself. But the main camera on the Luna Ultra also shoots up to 8K horizontal video, which neither the Pocket 3 nor the Pocket 4 can do. Both of those top out at 4K. There's also a dedicated telephoto lens with its own smaller sensor, built specifically to handle those zoomed-in shots without losing detail. And because it's a gimbal, the Luna Ultra can track any subject once you double tap on it. And you can even do that while it's zoomed in at different focal lengths. Luna Ultra can also shoot vertical video in higher resolutions up to 8K, but you have to hold the camera on its side. The 3K resolution restriction is while you're holding the camera normally. One small thing worth noting though is the Luna Ultra also has built-in storage. The DJI Pocket 3 does not have this, but the Pocket 4 does, and so does the Luna Ultra. So far, I have only used internal storage, but it's a really nice backup option, or a way to expand beyond the micro SD card slot, which it also has too. So those are the unique features of the Luna Ultra on paper, but how do they actually work in real life? Let's start with that zoom lens, because this was honestly the thing I was most curious about before I even got this camera in my hands. Now, neither the Pocket 3 nor the Pocket 4 has anything like this. They're limited to digital zoom, cropping into the same single sensor, which means that you start to lose detail the more you zoom in. The Luna Ultra has a dedicated telephoto lens that gives you up to 6 times lossless zoom instead. Lossless means that the image quality doesn't degrade as you zoom in. There's also a 12 times digital zoom beyond that, but 6 times is where you're going to get the cleanest footage. Now this is also where you can see the telephoto macro in action. That's the ability to get an extremely close, detailed shot of something small from several feet away instead of having to get right up on it. And it's one of the unique tricks on this camera. So that zoom reach really changes what's possible in real shooting. You can start wide on a scene and pull into detail without swapping anything and without losing stabilization. It's a completely different creative toolkit than a single lens pocket camera can give you. And the way that you control the zoom is also pretty clever. There's a vertical joystick on the body, which I haven't seen on any other pocket camera. A quick press jumps between focal lengths, so 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, and 6 times zoom. Or you can hold it down and you get a smooth, continuous zoom. It's intuitive in a way that just clicking buttons or tapping on a touchscreen isn't. Now, I mentioned earlier that the Luna Ultra can track a subject even when you're zoomed in. And in practice, that's actually held up too. I don't lose the subject just because I've punched in tight. So even when I'm ducking behind obstacles or turning my head around, the tracking still finds me. It can be a little slow to find me, but it does find me. One other thing I want to mention about image quality is slow motion. You can shoot in up to 4K 120 frames per second on Luna Ultra, and the slow-mo quality is honestly really good. And what's even more impressive is that you can do slow motion while activating other modes, like zoom, although you're limited to only 3 times zoom when doing slow motion. You can also do slow motion plus deep track subject tracking, and slow motion in low light. Next up, let's talk about low light performance, because that's always one of the first things that people ask about. Insta360 calls our dedicated low light shooting mode Pure Video, and it lets you shoot in up to 4K at 60 frames per second, even in really dim conditions. Now, low light modes on pocket cameras is not unique to the Luna Ultra, but what surprised me is that subject tracking still works in Pure Video mode. The camera can lock onto you and follow you around even in the dark, which isn't something I expected from a camera of this size. This is actually something that the DJI Pocket 3 cannot do. There's no active tracking in low light. The standard Pocket 4 can track in low light too, but not when it's zoomed in because it doesn't have a dedicated zoom lens. The Luna Ultra can track a subject in low light and stay zoomed in up to 12 times zoom on that telephoto lens at the same time, which neither DJI camera can currently match. The last thing I want to mention about image quality is the quality of still photography. Now, previously, I never used my DJI Pocket cameras to take photos that I would actually use. But with Luna Ultra, I find myself really utilizing that zoom while taking both photos and videos. The photo quality was honestly beautiful, and for the first time ever, I can envision myself using the still photos shot by a pocket camera. Next up, let's talk about this detachable remote control screen. Is it actually useful or is it a gimmick? After weeks of using it, I can tell you it's the real deal, and I use it quite a bit. Now, the range on the detachable screen for the Luna Ultra is a whopping 65 feet or 20 meters, which is crazy. I don't think I'd actually walk that far away from my camera because I'd be afraid someone might steal it. By far, one of my favorite features on the Insta360 Luna Ultra is this detachable remote control. It not only gives me a preview screen so I can see exactly what I'm filming, but I can also control the camera. I can start and stop recording, I can zoom in, I can even enable that active track or the deep track so that it tracks me as I'm moving around, and it has the built-in microphone. So that is a pretty sweet deal. But a couple of real-life observations. Despite that long range, I do notice that as I move farther away from the camera, the preview quality can get a little fuzzy. I can still make out enough detail to compose my shot, but sometimes the details cut in and out. Also, if you lose the screen, you lose a core function of the camera, so you definitely want to keep track of it once it's detached. And one more practical thing worth knowing. This screen has its own battery, but it depends on the main camera to charge and to actually function. If the camera's main battery runs out, the screen stops working, even if it's showing that it has some charge on its own. So if you're planning a long solo shoot around the detachable screen, keep an eye on the main camera's battery level, not just the screen's level. Another feature worth mentioning is the audio. The camera handles everyday audio pretty well on its own, between the windscreen and the built-in mics, which sound really impressive, especially compared to the DJI Pocket 3. Next up, we're going to do some audio tests on these two cameras. So we're using the built-in microphones. Camera is about an arm's length away. And so we have Omni, or all-direction mode. I'm purposely in a pretty noisy area. There's a lot of traffic behind these cameras. So this is what it sounds like if I'm trying to talk to the camera with a lot of ambient noise all around me. But if you want to go further and enhance the audio quality, I would recommend using a wireless mic that you can clip to yourself. And that's an option too, but it is an extra cost on top of the camera. So wireless mics are great because now doesn't really matter how far away I am from the camera. As long as I've got the wireless mic clipped to me, you'll still be able to hear me pretty evenly. And so that's the main advantage to using a wireless mic. I think if you are recording videos like this and you want your audio picked up, you should definitely have a wireless mic of some kind. Now the thing with both of these cameras is that the wireless mic brand loyalty is now starting to factor in, because Insta just released their own professional level wireless mic, the Mic Pro, like a month ago. So now if you want to do wireless Bluetooth connectivity to each camera, you have to be brand loyal. So at DJI, you can only use DJI wireless mics for Bluetooth connectivity. Right now we're using the DJI Mic Mini, and on the Ultra, I'm using the Insta360 Mic Pro. Insta has mentioned that in the future they might do a firmware update to the Ultra to open up that Bluetooth connectivity, so you can use a DJI mic wirelessly with the Ultra, but as of right now you cannot. But there is a workaround where if you have the transmitters for either of these wireless mic systems or any wireless mic system, you can plug it in via USB-C to the camera and use the wireless mic that way. Now, Insta360 has said that direct Bluetooth support for other mic brands might come in a future firmware update. And I'll let you all know if that happens. But bottom line, the built-in audio on this camera is genuinely pretty solid on its own. But if you want the wireless microphone experience, that's an extra purchase to plan for. There's also a feature that doesn't get talked about much. The Luna Ultra can shoot in normal color and in log, but it can also shoot in Dolby Vision. Neither the Pocket 3 nor the Pocket 4 can do this. Now, if you've purchased an iPhone since the iPhone 12, you've probably already shot in Dolby Vision without realizing it. It means that the camera is capturing more light and color information than standard video, and it plays back looking noticeably richer and more cinematic, especially on a newer phone or TV screen. Now, most pocket cameras don't have this feature at all. Usually you would need a high-end cinema camera or a professional mirrorless camera body to get this kind of color straight out of the box. Having it built into something this small, with no extra color grading or post-processing required, is one of my favorite things about shooting with this camera. Now, out of all the color profiles on here, including the Leica Lux and iLog, Dolby Vision is the one that I keep coming back to. It just looks really nice straight out of the camera. But a quick heads up. Currently, YouTube does not support Dolby Vision yet, so what you're seeing in this video is not quite the full effect. On a compatible screen though, it looks so much better than this. Now the next feature is the one that made me stop and go, wait, what? Insta360 has an optional accessory called the POV Head Tracker. It's a lightweight device that sits on your ear and it communicates with the camera's gimbal to follow your head movements in real time. Now, I want to be clear about what that means because it's different from the regular subject tracking that you also get with the Luna Ultra or any pocket camera. That kind of tracking is the gimbal looking for a face and following it around the frame, which is useful, but it's the camera deciding what to look at. This is the opposite. The camera follows your eyes, so wherever you look, the camera follows. So you can clip it onto your backpack and walk into a scene, and it captures what you are seeing. No other pocket camera that I know of has anything like this. But for everything that I loved about the Luna Ultra, there are a couple of honest things that you should know before you buy it. First, heat and battery life are worth talking through. So both 8K and 4K 60 can get the camera surprisingly hot to the touch during extended shooting. I actually tested this out myself. Shooting continuously at 4K 60, indoors in the shade in a 75-degree room, the camera got pretty hot to the touch, but it never shut down due to overheating. I kept rolling until the battery itself died, just over 2 hours in. Now keep in mind that battery life does depend on the resolution that you're shooting in, and probably your environment too, so a hotter day outdoors could play out differently. But if you are shooting in 8K, the camera does overheat and it can't shut down. But with that said, I can't think of many times when I would actually shoot in 8K because it takes up a lot of storage space and battery power, and also, storage space on whatever device you're going to be editing on. So 8K, it's nice to have, but realistically, you probably shouldn't be shooting with it all that much anyway. But one more thing on batteries. Like every other pocket camera in this category right now, the Luna Ultra has a built-in battery. You can't swap it out in the field the way you can with a mirrorless camera body. Insta360 rates the battery life at about up to 4 hours when shooting at certain resolutions, which is plenty for a normal shooting day. And if you need to go longer, there's an optional portable battery pack that clips onto the camera body, similar to what other cameras in this space offer. So the workaround exists, it's just an extra purchase. The second thing to know about this camera is that there are a ton of accessories available for the Luna Ultra, which is really impressive considering it just launched. With that said, I have found that quality-wise, some are better than others. Take this external light, for example. I really love that it's detachable, unlike the one that comes with the DJI Pocket 4, so you can move it around and use it in other ways. With that said, I find that its mount is a bit on the flimsy side, and I honestly have a hard time attaching it properly. I also love that the detachable 1/4-20 nub and the battery handle come with built-in mini tripods, unlike the DJI Pocket cameras, which include the mini tripod as a separate piece that you can misplace. But the trade-off for that minimalist built-in tripod is that they're smaller and a little bit less stable, and I do wonder how the build quality will hold up. Now, speaking of accessories, some folks have asked if the DJI Pocket 3 or Pocket 4 accessories are compatible with the Luna Ultra. So besides generic things like tripods, memory cards, and mics, the answer is no. The lens filters are a different size, the USB mounts on the bottom of the cameras don't match, and the overall build is also different. So anything fitted, like cages, filters, or mounts that are made specifically for DJI Pocket cameras are not going to work with the Luna Ultra. So who is this actually for? Well, if you're a solo creator, travel vlogger, or someone who just wants one compact camera that can handle wide shots, zoomed in detail, and low lights without carrying a full kit, this is built exactly for that kind of shooting. Also, if you're brand new to video and you just want the simplest point-and-shoot experience, there might be an easier on-ramp out there. But if you want real image quality and something that fits in your pocket, this one earns a spot. And even though there is a bit of a learning curve because of that gimbal, it's pretty easy to use. But if you have another camera, like the DJI Pocket 3, is the Luna Ultra actually worth it? Now, price is a real part of that decision, so let's talk numbers. But a quick caveat. DJI pricing here in the US has swung wildly over the past years, even the past couple of weeks, because of tariffs. So treat these as a snapshot rather than a guarantee. Currently, the Luna Ultra starts at $769 here in the US if you buy it directly from Insta360 with full warranty support. The Pocket 3 technically starts lower at around $500 globally, but because of that current FCC restriction, you're not buying it directly from DJI in the US. So you're going to have to go through a reseller, and once you add their markup, the real price often lands closer to what you'd pay for the Luna Ultra, maybe even more, but without that warranty support. So the current assumption that staying with DJI is automatically cheaper doesn't hold up as cleanly as it used to. Now, one more cost worth factoring in. If you've already built up a collection of Pocket 3 accessories like cages, filters, mounts, none of that carries over to the Luna Ultra. So switching does mean starting your accessory setup from scratch, so that's worth factoring into the cost as well. But overall, if the dual zoom, the 8K capture, the Dolby Vision, or the low light tracking matter to you, or the detachable screen, that's probably my favorite feature on this camera, then the Luna Ultra is a real upgrade. And right now, it's the only camera with all of that together you can buy here with full support. If you want to grab a Luna Ultra for yourself, check the link in the description below. The first 10 orders using my link would get a free black mist filter. So if you've been on the fence, that's a good reason to move on it right now. Also, if you want to see this camera side by side with the Pocket 3, I've got raw unedited comparison footage up in a separate video. And the link is below to that video. Thanks so much for watching. Leave any questions in the comments down below, especially in regards to those comparison videos, because I am working on those deep dives. They do take a long time, but they are coming. So I'll take any questions or thoughts about how to focus those videos in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.